This is a sequence I thought might be nice if you've been out gardening all day and come in stiff. It's a short sequence and very gentle, so we're not going to any extremes. And with less movement, because often, I know if it's me, I feel quite tired and probably don't want to be doing that much movement. So it's just really a gentle stretch. But we start standing and work down onto the mat. So as always, maybe it's just getting in contact with the breath first. And rather than sitting and standing, we'll do it standing. So maybe just putting the hands on the belly, being aware of the movement of the belly with the breath. And maybe you could just look at the garden, the work that you've done, or just bring it to mind, just having a sense of appreciation of being out in the fresh air, being able to garden, gratitude for whatever nature brings us. And just being aware of the movement of the belly with the breath. Maybe just sensing into the feet on the floor, just being aware of being held by the ground. And then just dropping the arms down, coming to the top of your mat. And from here, just taking the feet maybe a little bit more than hip distance apart. And just rolling the body down, vertebra by vertebra, just like you're a rag doll. As you come down, bending the knees, allowing the chest to rest on the knees, maybe holding the elbows, and just letting the back stretch out. All the way to the upper body, just stretching out the back. Maybe just swaying from side to side, shaking, nodding the head, just letting all the tension release. And then just bringing the hands onto the mat, stepping back, and we just step into a downward dog. So with the hips lifted to the ceiling, heels towards the floor, really lifting up those hips, not locking the elbows, making sure the shoulders are nice and wide. To really get the hips up, you might want to bend your knees, lift your ankles. You can really get the hips up then. And then maybe just walking out the dogs, bringing one heel down, lifting the other, and then alternating. So really feeling that stretch up the calves, back of the leg, just really stretching out, letting the head and neck relax. And then gently looking between the hands and coming down onto the knees. Walking the hands back. Just coming to lean back, lifting the knees up slightly, so you're just stretching out the ankles and the quadriceps. Just feeling that stretch there. And bring the knees down. Take the knees apart, keeping the big toes together. Walking out the hands, bringing the head onto the mat. Or if that doesn't work for you, you can bring your hands onto the forehead or your fists. Then stretching out. Maybe cupping the fingers, so just get a bit more stretch in the back of the shoulders. Yeah, you're just doing what feels right for your body. Bringing the hands flat as they're cupped, and then gently lifting the head, walking the hands over to one side of the body, coming down over that leg, so keeping both hips flat, coming down over the leg, maybe with a hand one on top of the other, just stretching out the side of the body. Be aware of the breath and the back. And lifting the head slightly, come back to middle, just rest here for a couple of breaths. Before lifting the head and walking it over to the other leg. Coming down over that leg, again stretching out the side, keeping the hips down. Keeping your awareness on the breath. And then walking the hands back to the centre. Walking the hands back, coming onto your knees, then walking them out and coming onto your belly. And then just bringing one arm underneath the body, so we're going to stretch out the shoulders and take the other one arm across with the palms facing up or down if that's more comfortable. However, if you find it's too much, just having the one arm underneath is fine. So just having that passive stretch in the shoulder. And you might have a cushion to put your head on, or you might find your head touches the floor. Just feeling that stretch across the back of the shoulders. And then just lifting the head, uncrossing the arms, and then just sliding the other one under. And again, have one arm up, make that more comfortable, and then bringing the head down onto a cushion or the ground. Just be aware of the breath, allowing the body to relax into the mat. And straightening the head, coming up. Bring the hands in front of you, putting one on top of the other. Bring out the one leg to the side, and then bringing the head down on the hands, with the head facing the side of the knee. Just noticing that stretch on the inside of the leg. Okay, just connecting with the breath, the breath of the body. Every time the mind wanders, just going back to that breath, just to the sensations within the body. And then bring the head back to centre, bring that leg back to centre. Bring the elbows just in front of the shoulders, hands on the floor, just coming up into a sphinx. So we've got the hips pressed into the floor. And just stretching the lower back. Just breathing here, keeping the shoulders down if that's comfortable. Maybe just gently turning the head to look one way, then the other, making sure you've got no tension in the neck. Maybe even just bringing the hands up and resting the chin on the hands. Just get some passive stretch. And then bring the hands down, one on top of the other. Take the other leg out to the other side from last time and turning the head to face in that direction. head, bring that back centre, straightening the leg, bring the hands under the shoulders, pushing up, just coming back into child's pose, this time the legs together, hands in front, just stretching out again. Be aware of the breath. And then just gently walking the hands back. Dropping the hips to one side and swinging the legs round. Just shuffling down the mat a little bit, up the end like I am. And then from here, just gently folding over the legs. An important thing here is because you just want to stretch out the back of the legs at the moment. So it doesn't matter how far you come down. But just keeping the legs relatively straight, maybe with a slight bend, just so you can feel that stretch in the back. And if you can get some stretch in the back as well, that's good. And maybe even just taking a breath in, lifting a bit and breathing out, coming down a bit further. And just so you can really stretch out, you might want to put your hands on the other side of the feet. And just very gently, just give a slight pull. Just to really stretch out the back of the legs and back. Noticing how that feels. And then slowly coming up, maybe leaning back, really opening the chest. So it's stretching across the front of the chest. And just relaxing, maybe just pointing the toes, opening the ankles, just releasing any tension there. And then sitting up, pushing the hands away behind you, so just get a stretch across the chest, and then pushing them away so the wrists are getting stretched as well. And then just gently bringing the feet up slightly, bring the soles of the feet together, but keeping them away from the body, so you've got quite long legs, and just coming down again. You're just getting some stretch on the inside of the legs and the back. Again, just connecting with the breath, allowing the body to relax. And then gently lifting the head, coming up a little bit, and then just sliding the legs even further back with the feet together. And again, just rounding over those feet. So we're now really feeling the stretch from the inside of the thighs. Just opening the hips, rounding the back. And then lifting the head, bringing the knees together, lengthening the legs, and then just lowering yourself down onto the mat. Breathing in, taking the arms above the head, pointing the toes, really stretching, and breathing out, bringing the arms down. And then breathing in, taking the arms back over the head, this time pushing the heels away, so stretching out the back of the body. And breathing out, bringing the hands down. Then sliding one foot back, bending the knee, then the other. So you've got both feet on the floor with the knees bent, about hip distance apart. And then you breathe in, taking the hands above the head, bringing them down towards the floor, keeping them fairly wide apart. And just using your breath, noticing how the shoulders feel. And becoming aware of the back and noticing what the back does as you breathe in and take the arms above the head. That's a slight arch in the back. And as you breathe out, the back flattens. And maybe just accentuating that a little bit so as you take the arms up, just curling the spine a bit more so the back lifts off the floor, in a slight back bend. And then as you bring the hands down, flattening the back against the floor. And just notice what that feels, especially if you've been doing lots of heavy lifting. Just be careful, be gentle with the back. And then bring the hands down beside you, moving them apart a little. And then gently, as you breathe out, rolling the head to one side. Breathing in, bring it back to centre. And breathing out, take it the other way. So you're not going to the extremes, not lifting the head on the floor, off the floor, but just rolling it gently. Just releasing any tension in the neck. And then if it's comfortable, letting the knees drop slightly in the opposite direction to the head. You're keeping the soles of the feet flat on the floor, so the legs aren't going to go very far. Just releasing any tension. And then bringing the head back to centre, the knees back to centre. Take the arms out at right angles with the hands facing up or down, whichever's more comfortable for you. And then lifting the hips to the left and dropping the knees to the right. So coming to twist, keeping the shoulders flat on the floor, as near the floor as possible. And then if it's comfortable, turning the head away from the knees. Otherwise, we'll keep the ceiling, even turning the head towards the knees. Just finding a place that's comfortable. And then really tuning into the body. Aware of the shoulders and just letting any tension from the shoulders release. And the back and the hips. In this position, we're particularly twisting the lower back, but you can bring the knees up further and you can get the twist further back. So it works in the area you want to particularly stretch. And we're coming out of it now, but you can stay here longer. We're coming towards the end of the sequence. So bringing the head back to centre, the knees back to centre, straightening the body. Just lying here for a breath or two, letting the body adjust. And then just lifting the hips again, taking them to the right. Dropping the knees down to the left. Again with the head up to the ceiling or turned away. Again, if you want to stretch further up the back, just moving the knees further up. And then bring the head back to centre. Knees back to centre. Straightening the body. Bring the hands down beside you. Lengthening one leg and the other. And then maybe just resting here. Maybe bringing your hands on the belly. Coming aware of the breath. And just letting the body rest. Maybe just scanning the body briefly. Just noticing the feet and the lower legs and the upper legs. And then maybe breathing into the legs like you're breathing into the whole legs. As you breathe out, just letting the legs melt into the mat. Aware of the hips and the pelvis. And again, just breathing into the hips and pelvis. Breathing out, letting go. Becoming aware of the whole of the lower body. Feet and the legs, hips and pelvis. Just noticing the sensations here. And then breathing into the lower body, breathing out as if the body was just melting into the mat. Becoming aware of the lower back, middle back and the upper back. All the sensations. The belly and the chest. The movement with the breath, maybe the heartbeat. And then breathing into the back, belly and chest. Breathing out as they melt into the mat. Bring your attention to your hands, wrists, lower arms and upper arms. Noticing sensation of the air against the skin, close against the skin. And then breathing into the hands, Breathing out and just letting go. As you bring your attention to your shoulders, there's no silly sensations here, not wanting to get rid of them, but just softening around any strong sensations. And then breathing into the shoulders, breathing out as they melt into the mat, and extending your awareness to the whole of the upper body. Just noticing all the sensations. And breathing into the upper body, breathing out as it melts into the mat. As you become aware of your neck, softness of the throat, strength of the neck at the back, and your face, the jaw, your mouth, ears, nose, eyes, forehead, scalp. And then breathing into the head, breathing out as you extend your awareness to the whole body. Becoming aware of the breath in the body, as if the whole body is breathing. Breathing into the body, breathing out of the body, just letting go with every out-breath. Done the work, nowhere to go now, nothing to do. Just being